Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us on this week's edition of Virtual Office Hours presented by the Kenyan Wall Street. We're currently streaming across LinkedIn, YouTube, and X, and we're excited for an awesome conversation today around digital transformation at Kenya Airways. Our guest today is the head of digital commerce at KQ, that is Mwajuma Salim. She will be joining us, but so that everyone can join the conversation today, I'm going to drop a countdown on the screen and we will get started in a minute. Thank you so much. All right, awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining. We have an awesome conversation planned today. Oftentimes, the term digital transformation, to many people, across industries, it feels like a buzzword. Today's conversation is around how is digital transformation more than just another buzzword that gets thrown around in corporate circles. So we have Mwajuma Salim here from Kenya Airways to help discuss with us what they are doing to ensure that KQ is innovating and being very forward-looking and forward-thinking in regards to how they interact with customers. Digital transformation plays an incredibly massive role in the customer experience. And so Kenya Airways has seen this and they're doing a lot of work in that regard. But Mwajuma, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Andrew, and everyone. Hello.
Hello, hello. And so your title is Head of Digital Commerce. Can you tell us a little bit more about what your day-to-day entails at Kenya Airways?
Thanks, Andrew. My day's activity is basically leading the efforts to enhance customer interaction through our digital platforms, primarily focusing on innovation, customer acquisition, and conversion optimization on our digital touchpoints.
Awesome. And I've been told that you have a significant amount of experience within the air travel industry. And I'm sure over the years you have seen quite a lot of innovation and change within the airline industry, the air travel industry, and such. So my question for you to kind of kick us off today is how has technology over the past 10, 15 years or so changed the industry?
Thanks, Andrew. And indeed, I've seen a lot of change in the past few years, and a lot is still changing. However, in the past few years, technology has really transformed the travel industry by streamlining operations and enhancing customer experiences. This is through online booking, to mobile applications, to AI-driven personalization experiences. All this enhancement has really made travel more convenient and efficient, and also makes travel more accessible to travelers. So a lot has really changed, and we continue to see a lot changing within the travel industry.
Awesome. And I recall, the first time I flew, I was only a handful of years old, but I recall going to, you know, a travel office in Washington, D.C., with my mom to set up the tickets, to show them the passports and everything. And nowadays, I don't think I've been in an airline office since that date. That's just one example.
Indeed, and what this also has made is the travel agents, they've been forced to reinvent themselves, to
Mhm.
find another way of how they can engage with their customers, not necessarily the brick and mortar type of experience that you had when when you were young. So this has not only, technology has not only changed the airline themselves, but as well as the airline partners.
Okay. And what specific aspects of, take for example, a KQ passenger flight, what specific aspects have undergone digital transformation over the years beyond simply just booking?
Other than booking, customers, in case of disruptions, customer are now able to self-service themselves. And I'll be speaking more towards this specific transformation maybe later on in our conversation, whereby customers are now able to manage their own flight in case of flight disruption. We also have planning holidays, whereby it's not only about flight, but customers as well, they can plan and manage their own holidays at the comfort of their own seat. That is booking a flight, booking a hotel, booking transfers. And we also have check-in. So customers do not need, or travelers do not need to walk into the airport to self-service, to check in themselves, but rather they can self-check in themselves. They can select the preferred seat. They can select the meals way before they get to the airport. So a lot is really changing through the customer journey.
Yeah, and I feel that's super important. Me being a Gen Z, despite working in an office and such, I really enjoy being able to book my trips, to know exactly what to expect, to know what, meal may be there, and without human interaction. Does that make sense?
Yes, indeed. Because in the era that we are living today, and you've just mentioned the Gen Zs, um, this specific generation, uh, they want a seamless experience. They want to do things by themselves. They do not want to walk into a travel agent. They do not want to walk into an airline office. They basically want to dream, search, book, and experience travel by themselves. All this needs to be within their control. If they need to select a seat, if they need to book a meal, they do not want to call, they do not want to visit an office. They basically want to manage this by themselves. And what technology is doing, or rather what digital is doing, is allowing this generation and any other generation to be able to manage their own travel experiences.
Okay, awesome. And for all of our viewers, with the streaming system that we're using, we can see all of your questions that you put in the comments. So if you have any questions throughout this conversation, please add them in the comments section. And toward the end, we'll address a few of those questions regarding digital transformation and such. Now, focusing back on our conversation, I travel on KQ quite often. I'm constantly, going to Rwanda, going to Addis Ababa, to Lagos and such. And I've used KQ most of the time for the vast majority of those flights. I've realized that you have recently revamped your website, or it doesn't feel the same as it used to years ago. So can you tell us a little bit about, how has KQ's new website improved the customer experience?
Thanks, Andrew. Maybe even before I highlight the enhancement that we applied with the new website, just to share with you and our listener the decision behind the revamp of the website. This was primarily driven by the feedback that we received from our customer, as well as the need to improve navigation and functionality on the website. So as Kenya Airways offering seamless experiences to our customer across the digital touchpoint is a critical factor, and these are some of the reasons as to why we did this revamp. Are some of the enhancements that we managed to deploy earlier on in the year is in relation to performance. And basically, performance is how fast the website is loading. We've significantly managed to reduce the booking time, and also minimize the session timeouts. For example, the website no longer have session timeouts, whereby if you leave the website window on for a while in the previous website, you'd find that your session has timed out. So we've adopted new technology, which is sessionless, whereby we are able to keep your session as long as you'd want us to. The second improvement that we've done is we live in a mobile world. So in the design as well as in the development of the website, we ensured that it's a mobile first design, whereby it's able to fit into any device the customer is using. So it's not only designed and developed for desktop experiences, but also for other devices, more importantly, the mobile design. In addition to that, transparency is key. And what the new design highlights is the ease of navigating from one step to another with clearly visible and easy to use information. And here I want to highlight on price histogram, whereby customers are able to see in a transparent manner the different prices that are available in between 3 to 7 days from the date when the customer is booking for. What this does is basically it helps the customer to see other cost-effective dates of travel that they can select from.
And I'd like to thank you for that. That's awesome. I've definitely gone on, and the date I picked was like the most expensive date that week. And so I had changed the date because, I think it was about 20,000 shilling difference.
Yeah.
And I feel, for us, despite the economy, everyone always wants to save money.
Indeed.
And it doesn't matter, how wealthy you are, everyone always wants to save money. And that's a very important aspect that, for a long time, you were limited to using like Google Flights and stuff just to find that information. But now, you're telling me that you can do that directly through the KQ website and figure out, hey, maybe Thursday is not a good day to fly with KQ. There's a lot of traffic, high ticket cost, but did you consider Friday? I think, I don't know, I can't phrase that enough. I think that's an awesome feature.
Yeah, indeed. And maybe lastly as well, what we've introduced is what I was alluding earlier, in terms of managing customers, managing their own flight in case of flight disruption, whereby we are giving the customer the opportunity to rebook themselves seamlessly at a zero cost. So the customer does not need to call our call center or to walk into any of our sales office. They can basically manage this again at their own convenience at zero cost.
Okay. I guess for fun question, can I rebook from economy to business class for free?
No, unfortunately, you'll not be able to change cabin. You'll still rebook yourself at zero cost within the cabin that you previously booked on.
Okay, that makes sense. I think that's a reasonable
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
But if you could rebook to business, that'd be awesome.
We'll
Now,
see.
now, Mwajuma, your team sent me a video earlier that
Uh-huh.
kind of walks people through what you've done with the booking platform. If you don't mind, I'd like to pop it up real quick,
Sure,
just so
sure,
that we can get the sense of, how everything goes.
sure. Thanks.
Awesome. So I think that gives us a good idea behind, what the new booking platform and how it works. And, I must say that the user experience, the UI, UX, it seems fantastic from my end.
Thank you.
Now, moving forward, we've seen the video. Now, can you tell us kind of maybe pull out for us again some of the new features in the booking platform that make it much easier to book than maybe it previously was?
Yeah. So their performance in terms of speed, page loading is much faster. I would say it's even like 10 times faster than the previous booking engine that we had. Also, ease of navigation and ease of use. It's very easy even for a customer who's not used to booking themselves online, or they've just interacted with Kenya Airways website for the first time, for them to be able to click through the booking process easily without getting lost or getting distracted in terms of what should I do next. Also, should a customer not be able to get what they want on a page, or they forget, maybe they've forgotten to, let's say, enter some information, let's say frequent flyer number on the previous page, they can easily use the back navigation. This is the browser navigation. to go back and enter that information and still be able to maintain the session. This was not possible before. And one of the key enhancements that we've done with these new booking engines to make it sessionless, which means within the browser, the customer can go back and forward without losing the session, which is really critical. And I'll not forget to emphasize and insist on a mobile fast experience, whereby customers can still be able to use their mobile device to conveniently make the booking. Regardless of the destination, it will fit very well within your screen. The UI UX as well on the mobile device has been optimized quite well. Everything fits quite well. So these features are really fundamental for the experience of the customer. So these are some of the things that I can really highlight. And of course, I cannot forget to say that it doesn't stop there. It's continuous optimization. As I mentioned earlier, technology is changing really fast. So this is what we have today. And we continue to invest resources to ensure we continue to offer frictionless experiences across the touch points.
Okay, and what are some of your customers telling you about, the new website, the new booking platform? What is the feedback you are getting? And follow-up question to that as well, how do you receive feedback from, customers and such saying, hey, I think maybe, this could be improved upon this way?
Yeah, that's a very good question, Andrew, because we do all this for the customer. So what the customer tells us becomes very important for us to be able to continue enhancing, and also for us to know if the changes that we've deployed are really working for them or not. And the positive feedback and confidence that we've received from our customers is that the main reasons as to why we decided to go out and redo the booking engine, those are the same reasons that they're saying the new UI UX has delivered for them in terms of ease of navigation, in terms of speed, in terms of clearly laid out information, the pricing histogram. So I'm really happy to say that customers are happy with the changes that we've made. And they're telling us through a feedback survey that we put out at the end of the booking, at the checkout. The minute you check out, then we deploy a survey for you to give us feedback on how your experience was and how can we improve, or rather what did not make you happy. So by large, I would say customers are really happy. But of course, there's always room for improvement. And I'll also be touching on this later on. As some of the feedback that we've received is how do we then bring in new payments, which would then give the customers different options other than the traditional payments, the likes of cards and different alternative payments like PayPal. They want to see more options for them. So these are just some of the feedback that we are getting from our customers.
Awesome. And I think that payments bit is incredibly important. I started my career in the fintech industry. So, I'm very keen on that, financial technology bit, whether it is, I want to use, say, a US credit card here in Kenya to do my flight, or I want to use my balance and my M-Pesa for the flight. There's so many different payment options nowadays, and with the rise of certain things like crypto in the global narrative and different things, I think that's going to grow even more in the future,
Exactly. And you'll find for the localized payments, each region, each country, they have their own favorite, which means if you come to Kenya, M-Pesa, it's a given. You need to give customers these options. If you go to, let's say, the Netherlands, ideal open banking, it's a given. If at all you want to ensure that your customers have a good experience at the checkout. If you go to China, you need the like of Alipay, WeChat Pay. So there's a lot of options, localized options that we need to be cognizant of, and we need to apply to ensure that we cover our global customers. Of course, that is on top of the global payment options of the cards that we've just mentioned. But localization of payments is one of our focus areas now, and it's one of the feedback that we are receiving from our customers.
Awesome. Yeah. And I guess, from your perspective, you can't just design KQ for the Kenyan market. It also has to be designed for, the tourist or the businessman from the US,
Yep.
from the UK, from China, from India, all over, wherever people want to fly.
Yep.
It has to be built for them, not
Very
just,
true. Yeah, we are a global carrier, and we need to see it from that lens.
Absolutely. Now, earlier, you had mentioned KQ holidays, and I know earlier this year you had launched KQ holidays. I'm curious, what is this? How does it work? And how does this play a role into your overall digital transformation strategy?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, the customer is looking to plan their travel, plan their holiday by themselves. And one of the main reasons as to why we launched the product from a digital point of view is to give this ability and flexibility for our travelers so that they can plan their own holidays and at their own convenience across different destinations holiday that they would want. So the whole idea, or rather the touch point that we have for KQ Holiday today is that it has a very good and user-friendly interface. It's literally a click through. Whereby the customers, again, they can access it through www.kqholidays.com. They would be able to book a flight. They'd be able to also book a hotel and transfer as packages in different destination, and still be able to check out again with a different payment method. So what this does, or rather what this product does, is we are empowering the customers to be able, again, to book and manage their holiday without necessarily coming into our offices to book for a holiday. We are giving this flexibility to them. And as well, so basically that's what I can say about KQ Holidays.
Okay, so let's play the example of a tourist who's never been, to Kenya before. Say, I'm coming to Kenya for 2 weeks. I want to visit the Mara for 3 or 4 days, and then I want to go to Watamu, and then I want to, after that, come back and explore Nairobi a bit. I can do all of that through KQ Holidays?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Okay, Awesome.
Yeah.
I think that's an incredible value add. You know, people like things simple, quick, easy, accessible. And I definitely think that does that. I'm not sure, you know, too many travel agents will be happy.
Yeah, and you see before the product, you'll find we have a good segment of leisure travelers, and that
Mm,
want to manage everything at a go. But then without the product, it means they would need to book their flight and then maybe go on another website, book the hotel, maybe go somewhere else, book transfer. So the objective is, let's give our customers the opportunity and flexibility, especially the leisure customer, to book everything under one roof. So
yeah.
it's just perfect. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Now, moving away from the KQ holidays topic, I want to talk about the, you know, self check-in. You know, for me, often as I'm going, you know, somewhere for a day or two, you know, I only have a carry-on. I know with the self check-in, there's a lot that I can do uh, from that platform. Now, if you don't mind, your team did send me a quick video that goes through that. Do you mind if I pop that up?
Yes, sure. Thank you.
Yeah, let's take a look at that real quick. Awesome. So, Mwajuma, what can you tell me about the self check-in? You know, how can I do it without having to go and get a printed ticket?
Yeah. Thanks, Andrew. So, self-service check-in, it's one of the best products uh, we have today for the convenience of the customer, primarily because when you're traveling, you need to get yourself a boarding pass.
Hmm.
And before self-service check-in, you could only get your boarding pass, the physical boarding pass, printed at the airport. With this specific service, you can basically, again, within the timelines as shown, 3 hours, 30 hours before flight, a check-in is open for you, whereby you can self-check-in yourself through the mobile application. We do have a mobile application, or through the website. You will go through the whole process whereby you'll enter your details, your bio details. You'll also be able to book yourself a seat, the preferred seat that you want. You can also add excess baggage, and you can buy excess baggage if you have. And your boarding pass will be ready digitally, which means if you're doing it on your mobile app and you have the iOS device, you can even go ahead and save your boarding pass in your wallet. If you're doing it on the desktop, you can save the boarding pass, the PDF version of your boarding pass on your mobile device. With this, what it does, it again gives you the comfort of you not being at the airport way early, for you to be able to go through this process of check-in. I would say it's a good service to use because sometimes, like in Nairobi, traffic sometimes can be crazy, or different part of the world. Cities, traffic can be crazy. And by checking in online, you'll be saving time. So I would encourage our customers to use this service. It's available on the website, and it's equally available on our mobile application, both iOS and Android.
Okay, and on that, if I have checked baggage, is there a special place I can drop that off? How does that work when
Yes.
I arrive?
Yeah, so we have baggage drop-off if you've checked in online, which means, again, you do not need to go queuing.
That's
Airport.
awesome. I run late for a lot of flights.
Yeah, you should make use of online check-in or self-service
Yeah,
check-in. Yeah.
awesome. And quick question. You had mentioned that you can select which seats you like. My question for you, are you a window seat or an aisle seat kind of person?
Always an aisle seat. Always an aisle seat.
I'm with you on that. Always an aisle seat. I like to look out the window, but I like
Yeah,
the accessibility to the washroom.
exactly. For that reason, yes.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
Now, one of the biggest pain points people suffer when flying, and this is not often, but this occasionally does happen. A flight may get canceled. What options do your passengers have if their flight is canceled?
So our customers have two options. Option one is for them to be rebooked on the next available flight. And option two, the customers have is maybe to seek for a refund. So these are the two main options that we have in case this happens.
Okay, a rebook or a refund, correct?
Yeah.
All right, and tell us how that, self-rebooking, how does that work? I can do that on my phone as well, correct?
Yes, you can. And this is one of the features that we unveiled this year, which personally I feel or I've observed it's really going to be useful and offer flexibility to customer from a rebooking point of view, whereby in case there is a flight disruption, then we are giving our customers the option of rebooking themselves. So normally, in case of a disruption, what we will do is we would send a notification communication to our customers, either via email or WhatsApp. And in that, automatically would have rebooked you to the next available flight. But what this feature and service, what it has done is that we've now given you the ability to rebook yourself to an alternative flight should you not be happy with the option that we've given you. So this option, what it does is that it reduces the interaction between our customers and, I would say, maybe our call center, in case they're not happy with the option that we've given them, because then we've given them the power and the flexibility for them to search and see what is it that they're happy with. And on this note, what I would also want to mention is for all our travelers, it's always good to give us your contact details, ensure we have your email, ensure we have your phone number, even if your booking is done through your preferred travel agent. It's always good to insist to your agent to include your own contact details. In the eventuality, maybe your flight might get distracted, then we'll be able to reach out directly to you for you to be able to consume this specific service.
Okay, I feel like that's a super important thing, the self rebooking. I had earlier this year in January a really bad experience with an unnamed American airline. Um, and I had to, instead of being able to rebook myself, I had to wait in like a 4 hour line to do that. And
Mhm.
I swore from that day I was never going to fly on that airline again.
Mm.
I'm not gonna tell you which one. I don't want to be sued, but
Yeah, but
but
Andrew,
that is definitely, yeah.
yeah, what I would say is sometimes it happens, but I would imagine if at all you had the option of rebooking yourself
Mhm.
or managing this experience by yourself, then you would have been much uh, not happier, but more comfortable. I would say much comfortable than you waiting to get through to someone, or yeah, for them to be able to do that for you. So the ability for customers to be able to do this for themselves, it brings a lot of comfort and flexibility in such a
Absolutely.
situation, because it's not a good situation to be at. But then how do we ease that process?
Completely. I'm with you on that. And you know, in realizing that you needed, you know, to provide this functionality to your flyers, you know, how did this idea come about? Did you get this through the feedback and through the surveys you do?
Yes, we got it through that, but as well, we saw that a lot of our customers were calling our contact center in the event of a flight disruption, and as well, in the effort and the spirit of digitizing, we sat back and asked ourselves, how can we digitize this process similarly to the way we are doing for commercial ticket, you know, or what we call involuntary. In case a customer voluntarily wants to change, they can easily go onto the website and they'll be able to go through that process. But then we sat back and asked ourselves, how can we make it easier for the customer in case of
Mhm.
involuntary changes? So this is how this idea came about. And the critical thing to note between the two is that in case of involuntary, whereby it's not the customer who is initiating the change, then we are doing this at a zero cost, as I mentioned earlier.
Okay, okay. So in striving for efficiency on all fronts.
Indeed, indeed, indeed.
All right. And now the global airline industry is incredibly competitive. You know,
Yeah.
there are a lot of options out there for many different destinations. I don't know of many destinations where you only have one option. Now, what has the industry, the global industry's response been to your digital transformation? Are there any special recognitions or any special awards the airline has received so far for this initiative?
Oh, perfect, Andrew. I'm glad you asked that question, because for the first time, we submitted ourselves as nominee um, in the World Travel Tech Awards. And good news, on Sunday or last Sunday, we scooped 2 awards, which is a true reflection of the work that we've been doing from a digital standpoint. The first award we scooped was Africa's leading airline website 2024. This was a true reflection of the work that we've been doing for our customers. And I would really want to thank all our customers for believing, trusting, and being patient with us as we work through these experiences. Secondly, we also won Africa's leading airline mobile application 2024. So I really want to extend a heartwarm gratitude to our customers. And my message to all of them is that here at Kenya Airways, we are committed to continue this journey together and bring in new innovative features that will ensure a seamless travel experience with Kenya Airways.
Well, awesome. I guess first of all, congratulations on the awards. Again, you said these were the World Travel Tech Awards, Africa's leading airline website 2024, and Africa's leading mobile application 2024. That's correct?
Yep.
Well, congratulations. It sounds like you deserve a bonus.
Thank you.
I know that's largely led, by multiple different teams, but largely spearheaded, by your role and the team that works under you. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Let's keep those awards.
Yes, that's the intention. That's what we discussed with the team, and we agreed we are not letting them go. It was the first time, and goodbye to whoever was won it before, because we are keeping them home.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. They say competition breeds the best of benefits for consumers, and
Indeed.
I think this is a great example of some healthy competition on the continent.
Which means there's a lot of work we need to continue doing to ensure that we keep them. So, but the team and we are up to the task. So,
yeah, no days off. Well, that's great to hear. Now, I want to remind our audience, if you have any questions, please put them in the comments section. Here in a few minutes, we're going to go through some of the questions with Mwajuma and, answer as many as we can before the end of our webinar today. But back to the conversation. So beyond simply just solving pain points that KQ customers experience, are there any other areas that the airline is looking to improve upon? And this can include, internal processes as well.
Yeah. So one of the areas that we want to improve on is being proactive in identifying friction area along the digital touch point. And what this requires is to have a keen eye on what the customer is doing on the different flows that we have, be it check-in, be it booking, be it flight status, be it customers on our loyalty flow. And for us to be able to proactively identify friction area, we intend to deploy a technology that would then enable us monitor our customers on the digital touchpoint from an individual point of view. So if it's Andrew who's on the KQ website, we are observing Andrew. We are not observing persona of Andrew. It's Andrew that we are observing. What I believe this will do is that it's going to give us key insights of a friction point proactively, because this is also going to be on a real-time basis. And then this will also help us prioritize the key friction point along the customer journey. So this again is for us to be able to continuously enhance these experiences and also be able to focus on the key pain points the customers might be experiencing along the customer journey.
Okay, well, that sounds like, a very proactive plan. And I know, just from my own experience, one of the first things that I did was I made a heat map of where people's eyes and cursors are going on
Yeah.
our website, figure out how can this be better organized.
Yes.
Most people who fly, with KQ or read the Kenyan Wall Street, they probably don't realize that that is the level of thought that has to go into digital platforms. You have to, understand the mindset of the consumer as well.
Yeah. Indeed. Indeed.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, before we get to the Q&A, I want to ask you, is there any kind of parting advice, uh, parting words to travelers or potential KQ flyers?
Yeah. Maybe what I can say is here at Kenya Airways, we are committed uh, to redefine travel through digital transformation, and that's our commitment. Be it from payments expansion that I spoke of earlier, continuous optimization of the digital platforms, adopting AI technology to offer personalized experiences. We are committed to doing all this, and we are doing this for you. And we are confident that as we walk through this journey together, we will then be able to embrace the future of travel, whereby technology is going to meet exceptional services for you.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much. And, we're going to have to talk offline. I'm interested in your AI plan. There's a
Yeah,
lot of people out there who throw around the word AI,
yeah,
but I'm interested in the people actually doing it, actually
yeah,
using it. So
yeah.
now, shifting over to our Q&A, we have some really good questions here on digital transformation. So the first one I'm going to pull up is Mr. Derek. Mr. Derek asks the question, is there any possibility for Kenya Airways to partner with fintech companies in regards to payment processing?
Yes, Eric. We are already doing it locally here in Kenya. We've already partnered with one fintech to enable us power payments within the African continent. As you know, the continent is quite unique and it has its own unique payment options. So, yes, there is a possibility for us to do so, and we're already doing.
Okay, awesome. Derek, I hope that helps answer your question. We have another question from Alfredo. Oh my gosh, I've disappeared. uh, but essentially, the gist of Alfredo's question is that he runs a tour company that helps organize safaris. And one of the pain points he has had is he will make a client package using the prices at that moment on the website. But then when, once the client confirms and later on, when they go to book, the price may be different. I'm just curious, to ask, have you witnessed this pain point, yourself, Wanjuma? And are you considering solutions to problems such as these?
Price change is not really a problem per se in the airline industry.
Mm-hmm.
And it's primarily because of how airline sells tickets, in the sense that if, let's say, for example, the scenario that we've just had, whereby you've gotten this specific price. However, you've not issued the ticket within the timelines that have been provided, because we always have timelines which are provided for that specific price. So if you do not make payment within that specific price, then there's a possibility that price, you come later, that price will not be available.
Mm-hmm.
However, what we've done on, again, the digital touch points, is we have a product which is called Time to Think. The Time to Think product is basically you buying yourself more time to hold on to the price that we've given you. So in other words, we are guaranteeing you that price. So you're buying time to ensure that your price does not expire. So again, this came out, or rather this product was designed because of such scenario where we've seen, whereby he says, I saw this price, I was not able to make payment within the timeline that I was given, and then I came later on, the price has changed. So to ensure that you lock your price, we have this product we call Time to Think, whereby we guarantee you the price that you have seen and picked for yourself.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and this is a bit of a, it's a balancing act between supply and demand as well.
Exactly.
Exactly. You can't guarantee that tickets for a flight a year from now are going to be same 2 weeks before the flight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that may just be a hard reality, but the Time to Think thing is awesome, and I'll tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
I have never booked a flight on the
Mm-hmm.
day I decided to fly. What I mean by that is I always use Time to Think. Maybe it's with other airlines, with KQ. I always like an extra day to just see, am I sure I want to go on that day?
Yeah, it's a very good product and feature to give you, again, peace of mind to lock in the price that you saw. So again, a very good product to use. Again, it's available on Kenya Airways website and mobile application.
Okay, awesome. Now we have a few more questions. We do have a comment here from Francis. I'll pop it up. He says he loves the holiday packages. Me too. I think they sound awesome. But yeah, thank you, Francis, for that. We have another question here from Mr. Jason Karaoke. On the point about feedback, how's KQ's customer data being used to provide more personalized experience and services?
Yeah, thank you, Jason, and a very good question. Question and observation. So last year we launched a loyalty program, Asante Reward, and through Asante Reward, we are able to know who our customers are, what they like, and how they want their experiences. So we are using the customer data and information through our loyalty program to ensure that we offer personalized experiences along different flows. So again, this was also a key beneficiary of the loyalty program, for us to be able to utilize this customer data to ensure that we are offering personalized experiences. If it's, for example, a specific seat or a specific destination that you like, then we ensure we are able to offer that by using your data and understanding better who you are as a customer.
Okay, thank you for that. And we have one more question from Francis. Let me pop it up real quick. Have you experienced a customer with difficulty in seeing the booking online? And if so, what lessons and takeaways has KQ made in regards to rethinking accessibility for people with disabilities?
Another perfect question, and I forgot to mention it in our earlier discussion. But yes, indeed, we've received feedback previously from an accessibility point of view. However, important to mention, which is also what I wanted to mention, I forgot to mention earlier, is that the way we've developed the new website experience, we have taken accessibility into consideration. This is the guided by the WCAG 2.2 of 2023. To ensure that also passenger with accessibility needs, they've also been factored into their whole experience, as well as been factored into how they are consuming our product and services online. Of course, accessibility it's not a one job kind of a thing. It's continuous optimization, because as we continue to develop product, as we continue to enhance product, as we continue to design, then we always need to think of accessibility. So this is also one of the focus area that we plan to bring out more next year to ensure that we are covered 100% from an accessibility point of view, of course, guided by the WCAG 2.2, as I mentioned.
Okay, awesome. Now that concludes our Q&A, but I have one more question for you, Majima. And this is a question I'm sure your counterparts in KQ, everyone may answer it differently, but I want to get your opinion on this. And my question is, what does the future look like for KQ?
The future is bright. That's what I can say. And why I'm saying so is because I can see from where I'm seated, I see commitment from my leadership, especially from a digital standpoint. They are committed, and then not only committed from talking point of view, but from action point of view, because we see provision of resources when required or when requested, to ensure that we deploy these experiences, digital experiences. And again, now to speak from a macro point of view, is that there's a lot of change in the airline industry. As an industry, we are evolving to what we call modern airline retailing. Very exciting way of how airline wants to interact with the customer, putting customer at the center of everything that we do. And this, of course, is being led by IATA. And the future is quite bright. That's what I can say. And at KQ, and as well from an airline point of view, things are changing for the better. So I'm pretty sure very soon we'll be able to compete with the likes of the retail industry, like the Amazon, giant Amazon. We should be able to offer such experiences, and this is coming. It started and it's coming. So the future at KQ, from my lenses, looks very bright, and as well from the industry, it looks quite bright.
Well, thank you so much for that, Majima. And I lied, I do have one more question.
Oh, Okay.
You know, our audience at the Kenyan Wall Street is a very young audience, a lot of Gen Z, millennial individuals as a digital first media company. And a lot of people are in the process of starting their careers, in the process of, you know, getting started in life, building families and such. What is your advice to young people in the early stages of the career in building a career that is vibrant, productive, and ultimately profitable?
Uh, okay. I would say follow what you love, your passion, but most importantly is ensure you're committed to that passion, because if you're not committed to your passion, then regardless of what is it that you want to do, you might not be able to achieve it if you're not committed. So commitment, resilience, these are things that you really need to ensure you have for you to be able to see or to experience what you want in your career, whichever career that you choose.
Well, thank you so much for that. I think that's spectacular advice. I agree completely. You have to, you know, have commitment and you have to also, you know, love what you do. You have to have a passion for it in a
Yeah,
way. You know, the more passionate you are about something that you're doing, the, you know, better off your end product will be as well. You know, and it
exactly.
doesn't matter what you do, you
Yeah,
know, uh, no matter what's your job, you know, if you walk in every day saying I am going to own this, you know, this is my job, I take pride in it, you know, you're going to have a very successful career that way.
indeed, indeed, indeed.
All right. Well, so thank you to Mwajuma Salim for joining us today. She is the head of digital commerce at Kenya Airways. We're extremely excited to have had this conversation and to learn a lot more about what the airline has been doing to improve and to become better from a digital transformation standpoint. If you didn't get the chance to see or hear the first part of the webinar, you can find it on our YouTube channel, I believe immediately after this concludes, but if not, within a few minutes. But thank you all for joining us, from our audience on X to our audience on YouTube, our audience on LinkedIn, as well as StreamYard. Thank you guys so much for joining us. And most of all, thank you to Kenya Airways and Wajuma for taking time out of your day to join us and to explain to us everything you have going on.
Thank you, Andrew, and thank you to the audience as well.
So thank you again for everyone who joined us. This concludes our webinar. Thank you so much and have a great day.